For this base camp adventure, we head south to one of Cornwall's best kept secrets. Whitsands Bay is home to miles of unspoilt sandy beaches. Tucked away in the southeast of Cornwall on the Rame Peninsula, it is an area of outstanding natural beauty. Flanked by Plymouth Sound, an area drenched in maritime history, it is also the home to Cornwall's forgotten corner, the twin seafront villages of Kingsand and Cawsand. Both come with a rich fishing and smuggling heritage. Join us on this beautiful Cornish adventure. For this trip, we're staying at the Whitsands Bay Fort holiday village. The Whitsands Bay Fort was originally built to prevent enemy vessels anchoring in the bay and bombarding the Royal Navy dockyard at Perranporth, which is a couple of miles downwind from the fort. It was fitted with 5 guns and remained in use throughout World War I. Thereafter it was decommissioned and is now a holiday camp. The fort fell into disrepair after many years of lack of investment. However, there are new owners now and the park is being completely renovated. The touring pitches are located in the moat section of the fort, with the backdrop of HM Naval Base Devonport, which the fort was originally built to protect. Our touring pitch is located in front of one of the 5 gunning batteries, which is an amazing place to explore with such significant history. Complementing the tenting and touring pitches are numerous luxury lodges. These are either for sale or to be rented as holiday lets. There are several tenting pitches, all offering superb views of the Rame Peninsula. There has been a lot of renovation on the site, with a new laundrette now up and running, a brand new shower and toilet block. On inspection, the facilities were spotless, albeit I personally don't use facilities on campsites. I just use the facilities on board the base camp. There is a renovated bar and restaurant, which on a Sunday offers a full carvery, which of course we just had to partake in. The new owners have even renovated the 1940s radar station into a luxury holiday let with uninterrupted views of Whitsands Bay. When we arrived at the fort, I used the motor mover to position the base camp on the pitch. The pitch wasn't level, so I used a levelling block on the near side to level the base camp, and then of course used the stocks under the steadies on that side, whilst finally remembering to disengage the motor mover last of all. So here we are on our pitch. Let's have a quick look around the setup. So it's the usual setup, so we'll start at the front. We've got the hitch cover. This is bespokely made by Bags of Fun Creations. You can find them on Facebook. They do lots of accessories for the base camp. Underneath that, I've got the hitch lock on, the Malenko hitch lock. As we come around to the side, we're on a fully serviced pitch once again. So the Acarol is connected to the water, which is on the other side of the base camp. And then we've got the Malenko wheel lock as usual. Just underneath there, I've got a 6-litre water bag, which has got the next flush setup, just saves me going back to the tap. And for the awning, we've got the Vango RVA1 awning up. This is perfect for trips like this. We're away for a week, so this is the go-to awning for long stays like this. Heavy awning, 27 kilos, a bit cumbersome, but worth the effort. As we come into the awning, you can see loads of extra space for storing bits and bobs. actually put in the extension cable, hooked up to the base camp external power socket, so my wife can run her straighteners and her hairdryer and do it in the awning. And we've put down the Dometic camper carpet, which we normally use in the Dometic Camper 200 awning, but it goes well in here as well. So yeah, all set up for our week in Cornwall. The view from our pitch was blocked by the moat wall. However, for those that would prefer an uninterrupted view, there are pitches on the east side of the fort. However, they are not fully serviced like our pitch in the moat. Regardless of where you decide to rest your head, the views of the sunset from the fort across Whitsands Bay are absolutely beautiful. Next to our pitch is the entrance to one of the many tunnels open to explore at the fort. This particular tunnel is in amazing condition given its age. And as I make my way through the tunnel and head towards the daylight, my anticipation grows of what I will discover on the other side. The tunnel opens onto one of the 5 gunning batteries of the fort. This battery is over 150 years old. The battery was home to number 5 gun, and the fort have future plans to put replica guns back in place here. A bit further down are the steps that lead to the ammunition store and tunnels. These are closed to the public, however, there is a tour that runs every Sunday morning. The visit is spectacular and highly recommended. After all that exploring, it was time to connect the Kayak and fire up one of the many barbecues we did that week. It was actually our wedding anniversary, and we decided to celebrate it quietly, just the 2 of us at the base camp. And what a gorgeous evening it was too. It's another glorious morning in the base camp. Surprise, surprise. The dog has nicked my bed again. Have you pinched my sleeping bag again, dog? Have you pinched my sleeping bag again? Yes, you have. Yes, you have. You have, haven't you? Yes, you have. Next to our pitch was the footpath that leads directly down the cliffs to the beaches on Whitsands Bay. This footpath winds its way through the privately owned chalets that are positioned on the top of the cliffs. And each morning, whilst the cliff was asleep, the dog and I would go down for a walk on the deserted beaches, and the dog could not wait to get down there. On returning to the base camp, I would use the external shower to wash the dog's paws off before she can go back inside. There is a particular technique to use the external shower, which I will describe next. So the first thing I need to do is go to the swift command to the pump and switch the pump off. And the reason for that will come apparent in a moment. And on the external shower point is a little stopper here. Now to remove that, you need to push in the blue catch and pull it out. And the reason we turn the pump off is if we didn't turn the pump off, the pump would now detect a loss of pressure in the water and a jet of water would come out of there and you'd get soaked. Next, we just take the shower point and just plug it in. And now I'll come back to the Swift command and switch the pump back on. So the shower head has two modes: either flick the lever up and you get a continuous flow of water, or use it down as a trigger. Pretty nifty. Each morning we would also use the base camp's functional and practical kitchen to prepare breakfast. Two miles from our campsite are the beautiful villages of Kingsand and Cawsand. A true forgotten corner of Cornwall with a real sense of community. For example, this is the remains of the burnt out pub, The Ship, which the community have come together to create a community centre for local events and arts. Also, Kingsand is the location of our favourite pub in England, the Devonport Inn. What a view. On the other side of the village is the beautiful Cawsand beach, and it's from here that there is a unique transportation. The Cawsand ferry is a direct link between Cawsand and the Barbican at Plymouth, and due to its flat bottom, the ferry comes alongside directly on the beach at Cawsand. No trip to the Barbican is complete without a visit to Plymouth Gin, and we've been coming here every single year. And later we visit a favourite seafood restaurant, the Rockfish, where I personally have the best piece of fish I have ever eaten in my life. Back on Cawsand Beach, there are a selection of kayaks to hire. However, as dogs are not allowed on Cawsand Beach, I have to paddle the short distance across to Kingsand Beach to pick up the dog so that we can go exploring the coves and cliffs together. Each evening we would retire to the base camp, being such a comfortable space to relax in, safe in the knowledge that the following morning the dog would be there in time to watch us eat our breakfast. One of the benefits of owning a caravan like a Swift base camp is that you have your car available to go off and explore. During our stay, we headed to the north coast, where I got the opportunity to paraglide at Perranporth. Not only is this one of Cornwall's finest beaches, it's one of the safest paragliding sites in the country, and was a real treat to have the opportunity to participate in one of my passions in life here. Living in a small space like the base camp for long periods of time, with 2 adults and a cocker spaniel, does create dirt and dust. So we clean our base camp every single day, and the awning does help with housekeeping too. The Van Gogh RVA1 awning is got a multi-use today. It's a drying room. Just been doing some washing at the laundrette on the campsite. And because of its design, there's all these bits that you can hang your hangers on. That's one tired hot doggy. So temperatures are quite warm in Cornwall this week. So we're in the sort of 20s average. And because of that, I've turned the power up on the fridge. I'm using a higher setting on the fridge. So normally I'd use setting 3 on the fridge, but because the high temperature is using setting 4. But actually on the Swift command, it's showing the temperature as warm. And this can be quite misleading. The reason that's showing as warm is because we've been in and out the fridge just 5-10 minutes ago making lunch. But sometimes it can show as warm when the fridge is boosting itself back up to number 4 temperatures. So it can be misleading. So we've actually put a thermometer in our base camp fridge. If I come down to there, you can see it's at 4 degrees. So the average, the ideal temperature for a fridge is anything under 5 degrees. So the temperature of that fridge is perfect. On setting 4 is perfect. On the windswept cliff tops of Rame Head and within hiking distance of the campsite is the location of Cornwall's best preserved medieval chapel. After hiking the steep stairway to the top, the chapel, which was built as early as 1397, is revealed. The views down from the chapel are as impressive as the chapel itself. For blue roan cocker spaniels that are just too hot in this Cornish sunshine, my wife found this fantastic sunshade tent, which just happens, by coincidence of course, to perfectly match this colour scheme of our base camp too. As our Cornish adventure nears its end, it's time to pack up the base camp. The biggest job, of course, is taking down the RVA1 awning. Deflating the air beams is simple enough, and the awning quickly collapses upon itself. However, it's packing it back in the bag which is the challenge. I roll the awning into a cigar shape and then fold it into 3 parts. Using my body weight to flatten the awning as much as possible. I have replaced the awning bag with a Chasely large awning bag, and in the bag I have all the detachable parts including the pump. It just takes time to manipulate the awning back in the bag. Job done. And finally, I use the best gadget in the world, the motor mover, to nudge the hitch perfectly centre over the tow ball. And as we leave our pitch, there is just one more job for us both to do, and that is to pay a visit to reception to book our holiday for next year. What a fantastic week in Cornwall. Thanks for watching.